What's going on, everybody? Toby Wayne from Toby Wayne Studios. So tonight, I figured that I would work on PICKLEBOY. It's been quite a while since I worked on this little nugget, and I kind of wanted to break up the monotony of working on the Juggernaut piece. Sometimes I don't want to, I don't want to flood everybody's feed with, just the same sculpt over and over and over. So I figured I would break it up tonight and sculpt a tiny bit here on PICKLEBOY. Why I call him PICKLEBOY, I do not know. It just is one of those names that, for some reason, every time I work on him, that's the only thing I hear in my head when it comes to his name. I've thought of his name, multiple times, and I just figured, PICKLEBOY kept popping up into my head, so that's what we're gonna go with. This is PICKLEBOY. This one is a really fun sculpt. I really enjoyed working on PICKLEBOY here. He just has so much personality. Soon to be America's favorite little freak, I'm sure. But yeah, so anyway, I just really like this piece for a lot of different reasons. I love the facial expression, and I love the little cauliflower ear. And his just his little bulbous head and his little tiny neck, and he has kind of childlike features, even though he's got quite a few wrinkles and folds and the such. He has a kind of a boyish look and feel to him. So I'm just gonna stick with PICKLEBOY, and we're gonna go ahead and run with it. And I just wanted to get some of these neck wrinkles and folds defined. This sucker is darn near done. I just need to just sit down and finish him. He's been on my rack, on my shelf up there, watching over my shoulder for about the past year. In fact, it was funny. I just got a notification on my Facebook wall that it's been a full year since I did my XSplit, using XSplit on Twitch, which unfortunately I was doing it at the start, and then I just kind of trailed off, and then I got more into the YouTube side of things. But I definitely use the XSplit to record for my YouTube channel, and I absolutely love the YouTube. So I enjoy that interaction with my YouTube followers and subscribers. So I just figured I would keep going with YouTube. Although one day maybe I'll go back to the XSplit, or to the Twitch, excuse me. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, I was working on PICKLEBOY a year ago at this time, so he has been sitting up on my my shelf behind me, and it's time to finish this little nugget up. So, and like I said, I'm darn near done. I just need to tweak this neck. In fact, I'm thinking this will probably be the finished sculpt once I get him done tonight. I think I'm gonna just work on him here for a little bit, but I'm gonna continue to work on him and call him done, because he is done. I just need to do a little finessing around these eyes. Love the ears. I love how the ears turned out. And because this is going to be a glove mold, it's not going to be a difficult molding process or a demold, with undercuts and whatnot. It'll just slit right up the back, and we'll pull it apart. And yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. He's pretty cool. This clay is really, really firm out here tonight. And I think it's just because A, this has been sitting for a year, and B, it is cold or cooler out here. In fact, it's 60, well, it says it's 61 degrees. So it feels cold. So take my word for it. Let's see here. Yeah, this little guy is Just about done. In fact, I'm gonna call this one good once I get these wrinkles and stuff where I'm looking for them. And maybe I can even mold them up this weekend. How fun would that be? Usually I would mold stuff like that up with my buddy David, but I do not believe he's going to be available this weekend, so I could definitely give it a go by myself, which, I guess it's not that big of a deal, really, if you think about it. It's just a matter of making sure that everything's covered and the silicone is on there nice and, even. And so it's always nice to have a second set of hands. Not necessary, you know, to have a second set or a third set all the time, but of course, the bigger the piece, you will definitely want more help. So, like the big 1/1 scale death rattle, that one was definitely actually, at one point, I think we even had 3 or 4 people working on it at once to try to get all that silicone pushed into all the little fine detailed areas and all that good stuff. So, but these little guys here, and I'm also wanting to remold the Hulk, because I really liked that piece, and unfortunately, that was one of the molds that I did in the first couple years, and I learned what not to do with that one. It was a block mold, and it was I got several pulls out of it, but it was unfortunate because the mouth ripped, clean out of the mold. So learn to not do that again. But yeah, it's pretty. Um, it'll be pretty nice to get that Hulk back. I've got a warp in my little black mat here. So when you see the side camera wiggling around, it's because it's sitting on a mold on a warped surface. How lame is that? That's just asking for trouble. But hey, I live dangerously. I need to replace that top. I even bought a new one. I just haven't got a chance to. No, let me rephrase that. Let's be real. I just have been too lazy to replace it. Isn't that really what it's all about? Just being lazy. So anyway, yeah. So this one, I think I am going to. I thought about maybe putting some pore texture on him, a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is um, I don't know, use a sponge and I'll, get it sopping wet, and then I'll just press the sponge and dab it, and that will raise the surface of the sculpture, and it makes a fantastic pour job on there. It looks pretty realistic, and it just looks really good. So the only drawback with that is once you have the pores put on and you have any texture and detail in this from about here to here, what's going to happen is you're going to have textures and pores and everything built in, and then when you go to cut that up the back with your seam line, you're going to have a ridge, a line, and then when you go back to try to clean that up, you're going to have areas that aren't going to match, because I'm going to grind off that seam line, which sucks because to try to retexture it. I guess it's not that big of a deal. I would just mix up some epoxy magic sculpt, and I would just mix it up, press it back on, and then take that sponge and press it back in to replicate those areas that were damaged in the removal of the seam line. It's just a little more time consuming, that's all. So much time. Yeah. Always running out of it. Yeah, I think I'm going to attempt to mold this up this weekend. Who wants to join me? Who wants to see that? Leave your comments in the comment section below if that's something you'd like to see, and if not, you'll probably still see it anyway because I'm just going to do it. So, but I always like to hear that support and that encouragement. So, if anybody's got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Always enjoy interacting with the people that take their time to subscribe and follow a project along and ask questions. That's even better. Yeah, this little guy is D to the done, which is awesome. And I may make a few little fine tweaks off camera, just little things that, you know, probably will bore everybody to tears and or death, but just little things like finessing, just some fine-tuned wrinkles and whatnot. I am going to be doing a video here in the future about wrinkles and folds and skin folds and the such. But I think that'll be a good video. I think everybody will enjoy, or I'm hoping they'll enjoy it anyway. Just kind of showcases on how I do the wrinkles and the folds and the skin pores and all that good stuff. And it always seems like I come in right into the middle of a sculpture is when I decide to turn the camera on. And I think to myself, everybody, you know, probably is wondering, how did I get to this point? And I promise I'm gonna try to get better at that. No, I will get better at that. I want to, you know, let people see the beginning processes. So one of these days I'm gonna do a sculpt from beginning to end, and everybody can kind of see it as it unfolds. And I think it would be really cool on this piece to have hair. So I'll come in and lay hair, and I don't have any laying out, unfortunately, or I would just lay some across, but kind of gives everybody an idea. But yeah, just nice long strands of hair, and it's given off a young Jason Voorhees thought process in my mind as I was working on this. I got to thinking, yeah, that's it. He reminds me a lot of the young Jason, you know, character that, you know, comes up out of the lake, or the lake there at the end, Crystal Lake. And but I kind of my own concept thought of what Jason would look like as a kid, a young boy, maybe kind of an unofficial Jason boy sculpt, I guess. But I definitely like the name PICKLEBOY. And we're going to go ahead. I really want to blend this in here. I'm just going to swipe this across there a bunch of times, and that'll kind of tie things together through the power of the lighter fluid. I had a fun interaction with my buddy Michael, who is convinced I'm really Phil Collins, because I look sadly I look like Phil Collins, and I didn't think too much of it. But what's funny is 3 different instances in my life, people have, out of the blue, total strangers have you know, referred to me looking like Phil Collins. And I don't know, I didn't really see it until Michael shared that picture with me. But he was asking me about the lighter fluid, And yeah, the lighter fluid is amazing. It's very aggressive, and it will just really, really smooth things over. And it's just such a great smoothing agent. I could use rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol you'd want to go really high, like maybe 99% rubbing alcohol. You could use 90, 97 or 91 even. I've used that in a pinch. But with Chavant clay, especially like the medium and the hard, 99% rubbing alcohol isn't going to do beans to that. It's not going to affect it at all. So anyway, I use this lighter fluid. 99 works really, really good on super sculpy, like polymer clays. But for this stuff here, not so much. So, uh, Michael, if you watch this, I'm going to continue to use this lighter fluid. And I joked with him earlier that if if I just don't like the sculpture, I've already got it soaked in lighter fluid, so I just take a match to it and boom, there goes that problem right down the drain. So that's my easy way out. Maybe one of my videos will be of me destroying a mold by soaking it in gas or a silicone or a sculpture and soak it in lighter fluid and then set it on fire. That'd be kind of fun. People always get so uptight when I post those videos of me destroying a sculpture, and it's therapy for me, and I really enjoy it. Because I have the molds made of it, so not a big deal. I can just pour up a resin casting as my master mold, and then if something ever happens, then I can just remold the resin casting. So once the sculpture is done and molded and I'm happy with it, then it doesn't matter what happens to the actual clay sculpture. Although I will say this, it is nice to recycle the clay, but over time you have to eventually get rid of it because the clay and stuff will get dusty and dirty. And like I said, this sucker sat up on my shelf for, a year, maybe even more. Um, and so dust and dirt and everything kind of get in there. So it's kind of nice just to restart. And it's not bad. It's like I want to say maybe $40 for 10 pounds of it or something like that off of Amazon. And I'm not really sure exactly what happened right there. Something happened. Oh, and maybe my Wacom tablet got knocked over. That's going to leave a mark. All right. Well, my friends, I do believe that this sculpture is finished. I'm going to tweak a little bit here in this area to these wrinkles, and I got to clean up this little area there. But other than that, we are finished. So yeah, this has been a sculpture long time coming. I've just, like I said, it's been sitting up there, and I've been lazy, and I hate that. I hate that. I hate wasting time, and I'm realizing as the days go by that time is precious, and I just have to push forward and pursue my passions, and just even if I'm tired, I still have to come out and just do it, because once I start sculpting, everything kicks and it goes along, and I'm happy at the end of the night. Yes, I was tired, but I was put time into it, and so I appreciate you guys and gals spending your time watching my videos. So I appreciate that. Thank you also for spreading the word and the love here, and sharing my videos and subscribing. I see the new subscribers, so thank you for that. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. Yep, I think this is it, my friends. So we are going to wrap this video up. So anyway, This is Pickle Boy. I'm Toby Wayne, and this is Toby Wayne Studios. I appreciate you for checking this video out. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Also, check me out on Instagram, Toby Wayne Studios over on Instagram. I would mucho appreciate the follow. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you for checking this video out. And as usual, I will catch you in the very next video.